Ask Women. When you're getting eaten out, what mistakes do you find a lot of your partners make? Status: locked for moderator cleanup. I totally appreciate that this is an effect of overall excitement and eagerness, but yes, just like that means keep doing exactly that, not do it twice as hard and thrice as fast. Finding the clit: amazing. Doing everything directly on the clit or too hard right in it: not so amazing. When I say I can't handle XYZ, please stop doing XYZ. It effing hurts and now I'm not in the mood. Not one man had clearly understood this line in the clit sand, and therefore it's never been enjoyable beyond about 30 seconds. So, listening and applying my advice. I know that everyone says to do the come hither motion, but to be honest I find that extremely unpleasant. So is jackhammer style jabbing. Also, literally every single guy has not gotten the clit location correct. They're always slightly too low down. I correct them and they slowly drift down again. What is with that? Focusing on the hole instead of my clit. I very much dislike that. Finally, when I tell you what I like, trust that I'm telling the truth, and do that. Don't do it for a bit and go back to whatever other thing you were doing. I don't care if Reddit told you women love some other thing, or your ex preferred it that way, or whatever other bizarre logic. I know what feels good for me better than you do. The one thing I hate that just turns it all off is a pointy tongue. Like, using the tip of it instead of flattening it out. Then if I'm close and I say that, it means do everything the exact same, but they always want to switch it up and then I am no longer close. Frown. Very sad. Stopping after I moan once. I feel like I'm an oven for sensual pleasure. I need to be preheated before anything gets thrown inside of me. Warm me up slowly but get more intense. I could also just want a pizza. We like different things. So what works for one will turn the next one off. I don't like lots of direct pressure on my clit. Gently rub it. Gently. You can be a little more vigorous in the area directly around the clit. But the wee nubbin is a sensitive wee nub. But, as mentioned above, changing what you're doing the moment we moan. Honey, that meant you were hitting the spot. Why the fuck you change your direction? Getting harder and harder as I get closer. Gently does it. Stopping the second I begin to orgasm. I want the oral to keep going until I'm finished, or my orgasm stops about halfway, and what a waste that is. Eating out is basically usually a very passionate, extended, intimate kiss. Enjoy what you're doing and take hints, ask, listen to the body of the woman. It annoys me when they use a hard sharp tongue. I need broad flat soft against me, or it rarely feels good. Every cisman I have been intimate with has done oral and digital manipulation too quickly. The one trans guy I dated for a couple months was the best at it. He did everything so slowly and made me ache for it, so I was pretty much fucking him. So dudes, slow down. Spreading me so wide I feel like I'm going to tear. I am reading this thread and finally understanding why I never really orgasmed with my ex. Not taking direction. Also related, thinking they know better than me what I want. You need to be enthusiastic about it in the first place. My current partner has never offered oral and only does when I ask him. It sucks. I ask him less now. For once I would love for him to take charge, especially because I give oral to him frequently. It's just hard to ask your partner to want to give you oral, because then it's not genuine when he finally does offer. Enthusiasm is key. Worship the pussy and you're already halfway there. Focuses only on the clit like a Hitachi wand attached to a car battery on full blast. I've told him many times, and his excuse for no change is I get so lost in it, I like it so much I just forget. Because it's him that's supposed to orgasm from this, right? It hurt after a few seconds and now he gets upset I won't let him do it. Speeding up. Why did you change the rhythm if I'm about to implode? Woozy face. It matters what happens before you get to oral. Just get your knowledge from Monty Python. Watson, are rubbing the clitoris, sir? Humphrey, what's wrong with a kiss, boy? Why not start her off with a nice kiss? You don't have to go leaping straight for the clitoris like a bull at a gate. Give her a kiss, boy. After reading this whole thread, the one thing I can add here is that at absolutely no point in time do I ever want a guy to spit on me. If there isn't enough moisture, I invite you to lick me or your hand, but do not for any reason spit. It turns me off completely and permanently disgusts me. My partner is so good, but when he eats me out and fingers me, he just leaves his fingers in and doesn't move them. And like, don't just use the tip of your tongue? Like, is that how you lick ice cream? No. Also, more build-up. Like, don't just give each thigh one kiss before going down, I need you to tease me so much that I'm begging you to go down. Because sadly, just immediately going down doesn't cut it. Edit. With my ex, after several months of him eating me out incorrectly, I finally told him that it didn't feel good and he went, well, this worked for my other exes, and continued doing what he did. So then I just stopped all sex after that and we broke up a couple weeks after that. Pulling back my clitoral hood. No, that just hurts. I don't know about other ladies, but I don't like it when the guy is trying too many moves at the same time, for example eating me out while fingering my pussy and also trying to finger my ass. Too much going on, it doesn't feel pleasurable. 1. Biggest mistake is not knowing where the clit is. Look up a fucking picture if you have to. 2. Starting at 60 miles per hour. Start slow and work your way up. But honestly, full throttle usually isn't great at all. 3. Putting fingers in too soon. Also, putting 2, or 3, in from the get-go. 4. Jackhammer fingers, don't do that. 5. When I say yes, yeah, oh yeah, fuck yeah, or just like that and then you stop or do something different. Just keep doing that. 6. Pulling your face away so only the tip of your tongue is touching anything. Why? This is not a porn. No one needs to see what you're doing. 7. Stopping in the middle of an orgasm. I hate you. 8. Stopping to rearrange, get more comfortable, tell me to scoot over or scoot up. Get situated and comfortable before you begin. We are all different and like different things. Pay attention to your partner's body language and noises, or lack thereof. Licking like a frantic dog trying to clean mayonnaise off the floor from the first second. Ramp it up, people. Didn't like oral till current partner, minimal licking, think he just sort of latches onto my clit sucking gently with his tongue flat out against it and I can grind as I please. When I tell you what feels good and what doesn't, trust me on that. Don't switch back to whatever you prefer to do, you're wasting both our time. Not my most hated. But needs to be addressed. Pulling your face away so just the tip of your tongue touches. One pointy tongue hurts too, it lets cold air move over my bits and starts to kill the mood. The warmth of your mouth feels good. So keep it low and slow. Like cooking a brisket. Be gentle, unless I specifically say otherwise. The moment I feel pain or get overstimulated, I'm instantly turned off and drier than a desert. I had one guy say you have to tell me exactly what to do. He didn't want to do anything until I told him exactly how I liked it. Well, for me, that's different with each person. I gave him my usual preferences and then tried to give him feedback, but he kept saying that's not what you said at the start. That puts so much pressure on me. When I am blowing a guy, I watch and listen and change things up based off his feedback, but at least I try something first. I told him not to worry about it because it just totally killed the mood. I am happy to help, but you have to put in some effort of your own as well. It felt like he was just expecting me to do all the work. I would have been better off masturbating. I haven't slept with him since. If one more sticks his tongue or his finger in my butt, I'm going to quit dating. I'm old, leave my butt alone. For me, it's not using enough pressure with your tongue. If it's too soft, it just feels wet. For some reason I've had a few guys use teeth. Like, goddamn brother, would you like it if I bit your dick? Didn't think so. So keep your teeth away from my clitoris. And yeah, sticking your tongue in the holiest of holies isn't gonna do very much. Oral really isn't about penetration. Also, stopping to come up and kiss the girl while you've been going to town down there for a while? Chances are she's building up to an orgasm and you just abandoned all the work you put in. Slow it down. Tease me. It makes me wild. I hate it when he uses that much spit that it starts running down towards my butthole. Instant turn off. My overall advice is to encourage communication in some form regarding what works and what doesn't. If you're the one going down, try a bunch of different things for a minute or two and see what gets them going. And for goodness sake, and they're into it, don't change tempo or go harder or anything. You're already doing great. Stay the course, friends. I don't moan as much during oral as I do for penetrative sex, but I twitch usually in my legs when it feels good. Every dude assumes I don't like it as much or they're doing a bad job just because they don't hear moaning. Okay, sometimes they're just doing a bad job. No matter how often I tell a dude that I'm enjoying it or what to watch for, they're always just looking out for moans. I don't like to be fingered during it. It distracts me and ruins it, My ex needs to see this thread. He was pretty bad at it despite me telling him what I wanted, but one thing that always bothered me, before I had to tell him to just stop altogether, was lifting up and staring at me the whole time. It was weird and put too much pressure on me to act like it was good. Focus on what you're doing. If you need to look at me to see if I like it, I probably don't like it. I am pierced down there, so the most common mistake my partners have all made is sucking on the piercing. It literally feels like they're trying to RIP it out of me. My piercing acts more so like a guide. It shows you where my clit is, and instead of sucking, I really just need them to apply pressure to that area, maybe wiggle it. But do not suck it, changing techniques every 10 seconds. Just cause I don't climax within those 10 seconds doesn't mean what you were doing was bad, and by changing constantly you ensure that I never will. Sucking too hard on the clit, do it softer, jabbing. Just don't do it. To not eat me out, this is gonna be an epic thread. They treat it like a dick instead of a big clit, not understanding that at some point, you want a finger in there, and at another point, you want two. And not making the effort to read body signs and learn when to anticipate doing it. You can and should suck the clit, gently. It feels super good. Using too much pressure or generally being too rough is something a lot of guys do that just about nobody likes. I've orgasmed from a guy gently stroking my clit with one finger through my panties, but I've never come from when someone eats my pussy like it's the first meal they've had in a week. Trying to do too much. And trying too many things at once. Essentially, oral on girls is way simpler than a lot of dudes think, in my experience. You don't have to draw the alphabet with your tongue, you don't have to race or rush, you don't have to make it complicated. Get me wet, slowly slide your tongue up and down the labia, sure, build up the pace a little, test the pressure, keep checking in with the partner, I'll let you know what's working or not. Then once the rhythm is good, please stick with it. Don't go changing. A couple of fingers inside the vagina can work here as well, some like a finger in the ass also. Make sure you keep checking in with the person to see how she's enjoying whatever you're doing. At this point it's about maintaining the rhythm and not doing something to break her concentration on the sensations. Do this and I'll come like a fucking freight train, and any women I've ever gone down on have reacted well to this too. Most of my female friends agree, but there are always slight differences between us. Just keep checking in with us as you go. Also, if we think you're enjoying it, we will relax and enjoy it more too. It takes time. Time pressure is a definite fail. I can't come under pressure, it just kills the mood for me. I imagine most other women are similar in this. I think the biggest one I've experienced is when I tried to say that he shouldn't do this or I don't like that and I like this instead of that, and he just continued and said I know what I'm doing. Sewer. Edit. Point being, just because something has worked on someone else, doesn't mean that everyone is going to enjoy it. Talk with partner, don't assume that your lizard tactics will help you. Don't pull my inner flaps. WTH, I thought this meant going out for dinner, haha, I guess not. When I say yeah just like that, to indicate he's hitting the spot, to then stop and move up or down a few inches, rolling eyes face. Going way too hard too fast. I'm sensitive AF and more intense equals better. Take a hard left when it should have been a gentle right merge, going straight for the clit. Being too hard, too quickly, not having enough patience. Too slow, soft, gentle is better than too quick, hard and impatient. Ignoring the thighs and belly, it's also erogenous. They don't do any build-up, they just dive right for the clit. May. Last guy I was with understood it though, also explains why I never really liked receiving oral with other guys before him. The guy I'm with now is the first one who has ever went down on me. I absolutely love it. But he doesn't do it often because of previous bad experiences. One of his hookups years ago accidentally peed in his mouth. He's good with his tongue, but always drifts when he uses his fingers. Looking through the comments I realize this is a pretty common answer, smiley face. I trust he knows what he's doing, but he says it's because I move around a lot and he loses his place. Don't deviate. Be consistent, gentle, and sometimes slower is way better. That way we can savor every lick. But you can't do that forever or else we get numb or sore. And that means no orgasm. When I say give me the tongue, don't suck. Flick. They don't go for the clit. Take your time and be gentle and listen to what I'm saying. Removed. Calling it eating out. Awful. Removed. Removed. Call it getting eaten out. Ew.